Okay, another warm day out here today. Um, I think it got up to 72. So, excuse me. I went out on the deck and worked on some more cleaning up and stuff. I think I may have 25 or 30 pounds of cans, aluminum cans. At 71 cents a pound. So, £10 would be around $70. Something. It's just become. I'm not going to get that refund that they said that I was going to get. The bank can't find it. I've got $39. So, $21 of that's earmarked for my ID. So that leaves what? 21 from 39. And I can't figure in my head. And I used to could, but I can't anymore. But 21, 31, that's 10. A lot of things that I want to do. But I think if I can get several neighbors to start saving their cans and stuff for me. And like a lot of people throw out cookware, aluminum pots and pans, they don't want them anymore, they wear them out or something, they look ugly and all that stuff, to throw them out. Well, those aluminum pans has about 70-something cents a pound. So in other words, I got a couple of frying pans out there right now. They're worth about $1 a piece. So there's a lot of ways that I can earn some scrap money and quit having to depend on subscribers to send me money. I mean, it's nice if you want to support my channel. It's great if you would. It don't matter if it matters, but if it's just $1, it's $1, that you can put in my tip jar to help me out. Because the day's coming that this camera that I'm on right now is going to take a dump. And because this will be the third or fourth YouTube or GoPro camera that I've gone through. These things wear out. And in case you don't know about these YouTube or GoPro cameras, like if I could reach up there and touch it, I'm gonna do it right now. It's kind of hot. I don't see how they get so warm, what makes them do that, but they get warm, and heat, eventually heat is what makes these electronic devices quit working. And if I run this camera for about 30 minutes straight, it gets almost hot to the touch. I mean, too hot to the touch. So they're great cameras. They're great cameras. Now you can get these cheaper action cameras that look kind of like a GoPro, but they're not as good as a GoPro. They don't have the features that this camera, like this camera here, I can say, you know, I can tell it to stop recording. Now see, it just stopped because I said that. And then it'll start back when I tell it to. And it'll turn off when I turn it to. And that's very convenient for me, you know. But I need two cameras working to do decent videos. And CapCut, you know, they took a dump about a week ago, something about a new law or something. CapCut is a product of China. And there was some brouhaha about it, and they couldn't be used for 2 or 3 days. Well, it's back to working. So I'm learning a whole lot about CapCut here lately. Now, I'm not particularly sure if I want to ever get back to using Windows Movie Maker, because there's so much more I can do with CapCut. And I watch videos of other people, you know, and stuff, and the way their videos are put together. And if I learn how to edit pretty good with this CapCut, I can make some decent videos. And I also, every once in a while, I want to do a video having a conversation about, or an interview, or whatever you want to call it, about somebody's life and stuff, and what's going on in their life, and what's hard for them. And because I find it interesting, and I'm sure some of my subscribers would find it interesting. But anyway, I was out on the deck today, and I got a lot done. I've got a lot of scrap metal, not a lot, but some scrap metal that's going out to the curb. There's also a big steel water tank out there that I don't know where that come from, but it's sitting out there at the curb. And I got some stuff that I'm taking apart that there's always a little bit of steel and stuff, you know. Now, the only steel that I'm saving is when I'm taking stuff apart. It's just small stuff and there's some steel parts to it and stuff. I'm throwing it in a bucket, because I can fill a bucket up all the way with screws and little steel parts and everything. And that bucket will weigh probably 30 pounds. So the 30 pounds would get me, let's see, 10 pounds at 20 cents. It would get me $3 or $4. And it's just screws, you know, and it's, why waste them? But now the big steel scrap, I can't save that because I can't haul them to start with. And to start with, it's only about 2 cents a pound, if it's that much. So I got a lot of things going on in my mind. And some of the people that watch my videos, like Sandy Baker, I asked her why she started watching my videos. She says, well, she likes to watch scrapping videos. So I need to do scrapping just to keep people like her interested, and other people are interested. I don't know what everybody watches my channel for that watches it. But, and I love scrapping. I really do. I love to sit out there and tinker with that stuff. I got stuff right now I'm in the process of taking apart. And I find stuff along, you know, that I can save. But aluminum is usually every day I go out, I'm going to find some cans. And a couple of times a week, that person down the street, they leave out at least one bag of cans, sometimes two. And it's if I can get enough people doing that, you know, they'll do it. Then they might find out, well, he likes old frying pans and stuff too, and when they're throwing them out, they will save them for me. And then they find out, well, he likes all these old electric wires we're fixing to throw away. They'll save them for me. So it don't take a small fry like me. I mean, I'm not a small fry. Well, I don't know. I might be a small fry now. I might weigh only around 230 pounds now. And there was a time I was up to 290. So I may be getting to be a small fry. I know I'm shrinking in the height. I used to be 6 foot. And the last time they measured me, I was like 5'11" and a half. So my height is shrinking. I don't know what causes that. But I got to have that printer to print them cards up. I can't afford to go pay to have 1,000 cards printed or something like that. I know you used to could. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go online tonight and check and see what it costs to have 1,000 cards printed. I would like to have. The only way I can find that though is on to get this computer going over here, because a lot of that stuff I have templates and stuff on that other computer that's got them cards on it where it prints 10 cards a sheet on Avery. But I'm pretty well resigned to the fact I'm not going to get no refund back. They're screwing me out of it somehow or another. So I'll never use them again as antivirus. Never. I'm thirsty. You know, I was watching more videos. It was a video of a military transport taking a bunch of Guatemalans back to their country, deporting them back to their country. And It showed the plane coming in and showed 200 or 300 coming off that plane back into the airport in Guatemala. And these people are so desperate, wanting to get out of their country. And they're calling it, they're saying they want asylum, political asylum. But it's not really political asylum. There's some countries it may be, like Venezuela, and maybe even Brazil. But Guatemala, not so much. But they was interviewing this one woman and this one man coming off, and how much they had to pay to get to the Mexican and American border. This one woman said they had to pay 20,000 something or other. I don't know if it was peso. I don't know what the currency was. And now they're back in Guatemala and have no chance of getting back into this country because they was already let in, now they were being deported. I feel so sorry for people that go through all that trouble to get to this country knowing that they're going to be illegal. If they get to this country and get across the border, of course, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris was saying they're not illegal. But Joe Biden and Kamala Harris was giving these people false hope, knowing full well that when another president gets in, they're going to stop all that stuff, and a lot of it's going to be deportation. So it's not so much the illegals, it's our government giving that hope that they can do that and start a new life in this country. I would be okay if they would stop deporting. I don't have a problem with the migrants staying here as long as they weed out the bad ones. I mean, it's not the migrants' fault, it is in a way, but the fault lays with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris for allowing it to happen in the first place. They gave them false hope. And now all these people that had dreams of coming to this country for a better life. But it's our government's fault for allowing it to happen. And now all these people's dreams are shattered. They have to go back. Well, why does everybody want to come here? And then I see some of these other countries that's having trouble with migrants, immigrants, especially the Muslims. They want to come to this country or Germany or Italy or some of these, but they want to bring their Sharia laws with them. You know, like stoning people to death for things. Homosexuals, stoning them to death. I mean, why do you want to make that country you immigrate to become like a country you just left? That don't make no sense to me, and especially the Sharia law. I could be wrong, but some of these Muslim countries are so backwards in their way of thinking. I see these Muslim women out farming and building things, a house and stuff like that, and they got on these clothes, hijabs and all that. Heck, in Iran, the death penalty for going out in public without your hijab, I think that's the way you pronounce it, is death. I don't get it. By the way, my camera just cut off just a minute ago because it got hot. And it just goes back to what I was saying about these GoPros. They get hot. I don't know why they get so hot. But no, I got mixed feelings about these migrants. Technically, they're criminals because they entered this country illegally, but if the government is allowing them to enter this country illegally, is it illegal? Biden and Kamala Harris didn't have to let them in, but they did. And they know it's coming, and yet they keep coming. I think it's slowed down now, but they're stopping them now at the border. It's no longer catching them coming in and then releasing them into the society. It's complicated in a way. I just don't get it. I mean, when I was in Germany, a lot of women, German women over there, a lot of the Fräuleins had a dream of going out with an American soldier and marrying the soldier just so they could go to America. That was my girlfriend's dream. Now, whether she wanted to marry me because she loved me or whether she just had a dream wanting to go to America. And my girlfriend, 3 of her sisters married American GIs and now live in this country. One lives in Kansas, one lives in Florida, and one lives in Tennessee. My girlfriend never made it to this country. But that they wanted to come to this country. They thought this country was great and all that stuff. Now bear in mind, my girlfriend's daddy, her father, was a World War II German soldier. He served under Adolf Hitler. He was wounded in the World War. He lost a leg in the World War. I don't know how he truly felt about me. He seemed to like me. I liked him. But he often talked about how bad he was treated once he became a prisoner of war. He was never sent across to the United States when he was a prisoner of war. He was captured towards the end of the war. His name was Walter Tuschinski. And I remember seeing him, he didn't have a car, but I remember seeing him coming home from work. Sometimes I'd be at their house, and he'd be walking down the street, and you hear that wood leg of his clumping on the pavement, and he'd have a loaf of bread under his arm. Now, the bread wasn't wrapped in a wrap or anything. It was just a baked loaf of bread about so long, and it wasn't super soft like our bread. He was always coming down that road with that loaf of bread under his arm, and he had a tote with some beer in it. Their beer was a lot stronger than American beer. I couldn't drink much of that. He could drink a lot of that and never affect him at all. But, you know, one time, I got mad at him, pretty mad one day. Me and Renata, my girlfriend, had been out, you know, in town. We wasn't bar hopping or anything. She was too young to go into bars. I mean, she could go in them, but and we come home late. And that old man proceeded to spank her because she come home too late. Boy, that pissed me off. But I ain't never forgot that. But I just don't, I mean, sure, we have the greatest country in the world. Now, there's some people don't think it's the greatest, especially the Russians. And the Chinese don't either. The South Koreans do. Germany, France, Italy, countries like that think we've got a pretty good country. I don't know really what the Canadians think about us. But I keep hearing these rumors about annexing Canada. I don't know where that got started at, and I don't know whether there's anything to it or not. And even annexing Greenland and taking the Panama Canal back. And Trump's going around saying he will end, there'll be no more wars. But I'll guarantee you one thing. If he tries to take the Panama Canal back, even though we did dig it, we did pay for it, but we gave it back to him. And if he wants to take it back, there's going to be a little bit of a war there. Same thing on Canada. I got Canadian friends. I don't know what they think about it, but it just seems like to me it would be part of the United States. But all that goes back to the Revolutionary War. We had no aspirations to take Canada. I wish I could wrap my head around that. But anyhow, I am making headway on my cans, and I've just got to get up enough money to get a cotton picking printer. And things I got in my mind to do, maybe it won't work out like I think it will. But at least I want to try. I'm not done yet. And I love scrapping so much. I sure do. I sure do. Anyhow, I suppose that's my story today, and I'm sticking to it. And I will see you in the next one if the good Lord's willing. And I ain't worried about that creek rising. And Ted, I'm so sorry I lost that money like that. I sure didn't know that was going to happen. I had all my ducks in a row when you sent that money. Just seems like it's one thing after another. Just like I was all ready to go get my barber sent me that money, and I still got it to go get my ID, and then she can't locate the paperwork. And I don't know if she found out that I have to have that paperwork or not, because I had a red seal on my driver's license and they had all that information on file. But anyhow, folks, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I will see you in the next one. See ya, and folks, cheers. I don't know how to do any other things.